and welcome to the channel. I'm Meanpoo the narrator, and today we will look at some gameplay of a game called Sunset Overdrive and how it performs with the i5-7300 paired with a 1050 Ti. Sometimes it's hard to believe, but this game was released a little over 4 years ago and it still looks good. It was developed by Insomniac Games and published by Microsoft Studios. October 28, 2014 was the original Xbox One release date, and it finally comes to the Windows platform on November 16, 2018. Gameplay-wise, it is considered to be in the action-adventure category and played from the third-person perspective. You'll navigate the metropolis called Sunset City in the year 2027. This dystopian world has been overrun by mutants called the OD, short for overcharged drinkers. You are a former Fizco employee tasked with cleaning up the mess left behind from a party Fizco had thrown to celebrate the launch of its new energy drink, Overcharged Delirium XT. At the start of the game, you can customize your gender, body type, hairstyle, and outfit using the character creator. You may also alter the look of your customized character at any point during the game by approaching a vendor named Callisto. After creating your character, you proceed to the game's open world, which is free for you to explore at any time. There is a fast travel system provided that allows you to reach different locations and navigate the world quickly. The game features a main campaign with story elements and side missions, which are triggered automatically when you enter certain locations in the city. These quests mainly involve you delivering objects to other non-playable characters and collecting items from the world. Some of these quests have time limits, so if you run out of time, you fail the mission, or you can restart without any penalties. There is also an option to abort a mission. Throughout the game, you'll encounter both human enemies such as gang members, Fizco's robots, OD'd humans who have been mutated, and they've done that from, drinking too much of the energy drink, and several bosses who are more difficult to defeat compared with other ordinary enemies. The game features a variety of weapons for you to combat the enemies. These include the standard assault rifle, AKFU, and the TNT Teddy grenade launcher. This thing fires teddy bears strapped to sticks of dynamite, and also fireworks and toy helicopters. All weapons eventually run out of ammunition, but do not need to be reloaded while using them. You unlock more weapons by progressing through the story or purchasing them from shops that you find along the way. Weapons can be upgraded and modified by applying amps, which increase a weapon's lethality, efficiency, and strength. The weapons can be leveled up when you earn enough experience points or defeat enough enemies with them. The game's combat focuses on velocity and encourages you to defeat enemies in a fast-paced way. As a result, you can employ different moves including wall running, air dashing, zip lining, performing parkour, acrobatics, and water traversal. You will use grind rails to navigate the city streets, and you're able to switch direction instantly at will. The city is also filled with items for you to bounce up into the air with. You can also utilize your weapons while performing these movements and slow down time for you to take an aim. On foot, you cannot walk, take cover, or take out enemies silently, but instead you must rely on agility to survive, as you will be overwhelmed quickly by enemies if you choose to walk around. The game also features a style meter, which is shown in the heads-up display of the game. The meter increases as you perform stylish moves like killing enemies and grinding on rails without touching the ground. And it kind of reminds me of the game SSX and Jet Grind Radio. When you are killed, you do not have to wait for the game to load. You'll respawn and return to the world by different methods, such as descending with a rocket or exiting a golden sarcophagus. This kind of adds a little bit more style to the game, and it definitely is different when you see your character walk like a mummy or shoot out of the sky and hit the ground and get out and walk around. It's different. So what about the performance? How does it play? Well, to lay it on you without all the fluff, it runs great. It's one of those games that has FPS all over the place. Starting off, the game has no quality sliders or anything like that. Some toggles that are available are bloom, depth of field, motion blur, SSOA, film grain, and fog. Some of these, when toggled, hardly affect the game. So let's start with the obvious. 1080p with AA set to SMAA 2 times. This is as high as the game will go, and the GPU average 69C, CPU average 72.5C, FPS average 53.5. 1080p with AA set to SMAA 1 times, GPU average 69.5C, CPU average 71.5C, FPS average 55. With our third setting with 1080p, we have AA set to off. The GPU average 73C, the CPU average 78C, and FPS average 59. 1600 by 900 with AA set to SMAA 2 times, which is of course the highest the machine will go as far as settings. GPU average 71C, CPU average 78.5C, and FPS average 64. The only trend that I see just looking at this chart, the GPU kept going up in temps, 69, 69.5, and 73. But when we went to 1600 by 900, it jumped down to 71. And I'm assuming if we done the same thing, that the temperature would go up some more, but just starting at 71. CPU, the trend that I saw really it was kind of odd. You see here 72.5C, and then we went down 71.5C. So you see the temperature dropping, and then it jumps to 78C, which is high, and we turned it off. But look at here, 1600 by 900, 78.5C. So it kind of stayed the same. I don't know what's up with that. That's kind of weird. With FPS, of course, it increased. As you see here, 53.5, we got 55, AA off, we got 59, which that's an increase as we are changing the settings, which that's the way it's supposed to work. And then we get down to 1600 by 900, and we have an average of 64 FPS, which it's still going up, and that's the way it's supposed to work. Looking at the data, I was just a little upset. Yeah, it does have great frame rates, and it looks really good while running. But what you don't see is that if you play this game at max settings on the Acer Nitro 5, you will get frame rates in the 60s and 70s, which isn't bad at all. And it doesn't really show that much while I'm playing the game. To this day, I still have no definite answer on why the frames dip and vary so much. What's even weird with this game is that when I turn VSync on, frame rates would move down to the 40s. They would just dip that low. There is something wrong with that picture. You would think that it would be more stable since running with VSync off gets up into the high 60s at times. But anyway, I'm not an expert, and we all know that it's a port, so that may have something to do with it. Well, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing. And I'll see you in the next game. Mean Pooh, out.
Are they gone yet?
Sam, but since you saved me and all, let me do something for you.
Nah, not unless you know where I can find a propeller.
Get out of here. Follow me! Oh man, what is that thing? It looks dangerous.
I'll take care of it.
Watch out! More of them!
More ammo.
You're not bad.
Yeah.
I did!
You drove the shit out of it!
I saved us!
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Come on! Our safe house is just down the street! They're not bad people, they're just spoiled. They don't know how to deal with a mutant apocalypse. I know how to make them come around. Only I can get them to listen to me. Maybe you can help me help them.
You want me to be your life coach?
Yes. What should I do first, Coach?
Time to flush this factory-sized toilet.
Emergency flush system activated. Just kidding. Obstruction detected. Pressure level critical. Release safety valves to prevent complete and utter disaster.
She's gonna blow! Gotta release those valves! Now I just need to jump on that red thing!
Obstruction cleared. But you're not done yet. Baby steps. Another emergency flush system is awaiting activation. Obstruction cleared. You are familiar with the rule of three, correct? Emergency flush system number 3, awaiting activation.
Myself, where are they all coming from? What I was really saying was, I should go find out where they're coming from. Why they call it a spawner. What a waste of waste! No, I can do better than that. That was just a bunch of rubbish! No, too British.
Please, stop.
Yeah, okay. Sorry.
Emergency flush system complete. Facility online. Delicious, fresh, vitamin-enhanced Bora Bora water now available for delivery. My work here is done. I'm out, bitches.